Nellis, and we're here today to object to the certification of the vote by Washoe County, and we want to ask them not to certify, and we want to ask them to postpone the certification until the work by Robert Beatles can be finished to prove that it's not certifiable. Beatles called the people that they said voted, the Secretary of State said voted, and he found out that 15 to 20% of those paper ballots that were received, these people said we did not vote. You know what that means? That means radical activists from outside of the state came into the state and got a hold of their ballot and turned it in. And so that means that this election is not certifiable. The other thing we object to, and I was in the ROV looking at it, but we couldn't see the signature verification. And we're supposed to have meaningful observation, and none of that was going on. We could not see the ballot. We could not see the signature. We could see what was on the screen on the first two computers, but the 4 computers behind them, we couldn't see because the backs of the employees blocked it. And so, and then we also have information, Beatles has information that the employees, one of the employees is a whistleblower, telling us that the employees were sent to, or were told to just run them all through, don't even check them. But they weren't properly trained either. And, you know, this thing called meaningful observation does not mean being sent, put into what we call the fishbowl, where we can't hear anything that goes on and we can't walk around and observe. And so NAC says, and I got NAC down at the bottom of this thing here, it says that the public needs certifiable observation. Now this little rally is small because it was just put together a few days ago. We're not the Democrats, and we don't have flash mob capabilities. But I just contacted a few Facebook groups, and I did this all myself. And I'm kind of a nobody, I'm just a milkman or former milkman. And there's no politicians here, but I decided that I'm not going to sit by and have this happen again to us. We need to get rid of the machines. We need to go to paper ballots only. Count it at the precinct level. If you count the ballot at the precinct, you eliminate most of what goes on in there. They have to get from the post office this expensive sorting machine. How much money does it cost to mail out all the ballots to get that expensive machine? And they got to separate all these ballots that come in, 492 precincts. I feel sorry for the employees that were in there. How do you do that? If you vote at the precinct level, at your own precinct like we used to do, then if you use a paper ballot and they check your ID when you walk in the door, we'll eliminate all of this fraud that is going on. This is a system of fraud. And we are pretending to vote. It's a fake thing here. They want us to think we have a democracy. We do not. And actually, as you guys probably know, it's a republic where we vote for our representatives to represent us, and they make the laws. Right? So if we don't vote them in, we can have no confidence in any of the laws they make. And in my opinion, really, we're creating a lawless situation because, I don't mind. I live in this community, and I don't mind if somebody has a different opinion and they outvote me, then, hey, that means I got to get to work and persuade them my opinion is the right opinion. And I will submit to the laws that are made by the people that outvote me. But we got to make sure it's actually I'm being outvoted. And not a bunch of radicals from out of the country are coming in, or out of the state are coming in. And I tell you, almost all of these people that were on the Democrat side that were observing were radicals from out of state. At the very end, I saw that they can pay them $300 a day and pay for their food and lodging. Now, what does that tell you? That tells you we have a breakdown in the system because there's so much money in this government because they can tax us. And then that money that's from the taxes, they give it to their favorite buddies, you know, contractors to build schools, contractors to build roads, whatever. And then that money comes back to the Republican. Hey, Bruce, you want to talk over here? You can't leave us, brother.
Fortunately, I have dragons to slay. I wish I could stay.
Okay, give us 5 minutes.
I don't even need to take that. First of all, thank you all for being here today. I've already been inside, if you haven't already. The enemy is there in strength. We talk about how this election was not stolen, but you people just didn't show up to vote. That's what they're going to want you to believe. Don't you buy that garbage for 1 minute. We showed up in strength. We definitely overwhelmed the vote, but it didn't get counted. And I challenge anybody to prove me wrong. I especially challenge them, and they can't, and they won't. They're not going to address it because they got what they wanted. And until we figure out how to do what they do, but better, we're not going to change anything, folks. But it takes folks like you that show up, that are in the fight, and will continue to fight to make that change happen. Trust me when I tell you, they can't make it too tough for me. And that's the attitude I want you all to develop too. They can't make it too tough for you. You're going to continue this fight. They're not going to drive you away. That's what they're trying to do. One of the biggest ways that you already addressed is by pouring money into this stuff. We didn't pour the money into it that they did. We did the work. We were out there knocking on doors, putting a message out, talking to people. That's what we do. Not this next time. Watch. It's going to be dramatically different next time around. We're not going to tolerate this garbage ever again. Thank you. Thank you, Bruce.
Okay, you guys heard the word? Yes, sir. And we overwhelmed the system. They did not count the votes. You heard it from our chairman of the Republican Party. I'm glad we got a good chairman like him that's going to fight the battle and lead us like a lieutenant, you know. And we're not going to be charged in the wrong beach. The beach we're going to be charging is not Norway. It's called Omaha Beach. We got so many lieutenants charging the wrong beach, you know. And a lot of them are the preachers of these churches, and they don't really know anything about what's going on. We need pastors that are going to lead us in a fight to save our society, to save our children. You know, I would like it for us to get the school board back, guys. What do you think about that? How come we can never, ever get a majority on the school board? Well, it's because our votes are stolen. You know, they'll throw us a bone. You know, they'll throw us a token Republican on there. You know, but I think we got Mike Clark and Jeannie Herman, but that's still not on the county commission, but that's still not a majority, you know. I mean, Paul Laxalt won. I mean, Adam. That shows how old I am. I think Paul's somewhere else.
I wore my Paul button for you today.
You got the Paul button, huh? The Paul button. He was a good Bass sheep herder. But I love the Bass people, you know. But yeah, Adam Laxalt won. And can you imagine the difference that makes for our nation to have that stolen from us? And you know what they're trying to do? And they got 12 Republicans on board to codify the gay marriage thing. So it's not just something the judge did. Schumer is pushing it. And if they codify it, and Mike Lee from Utah tried to add an amendment that said, oh, you can't persecute people for their religious opinion on this, they struck that down. So they're coming after us. They're coming after you. They're in their churches. And if you don't submit and kiss their feet, they're going to crush you. They'll crush anybody. They'll come at you with lawfare. That's how the Democrats operate. And, I tell you, I'm a fighter, and I'm not going to let these sex perverts pervert our children. And, my kids aren't in the public school system, our grandkids, I mean. But, these kids in these schools, they're all of our kids, And Hillary was right. What did she call us, a tribe or something? Okay, we're going to take responsibility. And you know what they do? They're pushing this transgender crap on them, and then they take them down to the hospital when they're all confused, and they don't want to be able to tell the parents, like that petition was set around, they have to tell the parents to have a medical procedure, and they cut off their breasts and generally mutilate them. This is evil. You guys have no idea how evil these people are. And the Democrat Party is not a political party. It is a organized crime syndicate. And there's so much money and power behind it. And it's actually an international thing, too. Globalism or whatever. They're trying to set up a one world government. Which that won't be no democracy. That's for sure. You can't even have a democracy in one world. You can have nations that people that are, have different, that have the same culture, So, yeah. So, and what that means is oppression. And you'll own nothing and be happy, and you'll be eating your insects. That's what you'll be doing. Insects for dinner. We'll have grasshoppers for dinner, and what do we have? How about this? Tomato worms for breakfast. Fry them up, they're not too bad. So thanks you guys for coming. Yeah, well, it's actually 9:30, so, anyone want to talk up here?
I just want to ask a question. Does anybody know what happened to these cameras? Does anybody know if there were observers? We're in Carson City, we're in Washoe County.
Okay, the question here is, does anyone know what happened to the cameras? I'm doing that, I think, for the video. And, so, this is what Bob Beatles. Oh, go ahead, come on up here. Go ahead and speak in this.
Hi. I actually contacted Registrar of Voters and asked a number of questions about what happened to the cameras, who left, when did they leave. They submitted to me a document that they had fully prepared along with tons of pictures of the hallways and everything else. The interesting thing about that is, number one, we ask them for things all the time, and they will stall, delay, do all sorts of things. Somehow they have all the shots of all the hallways and everything else ready and available for us security. So my feeling is that, and in addition, and I don't want to say this, I want to leave the case out. My feeling is that they prepared this document and sent it out to us. It tells you that they less than an hour before in the document. It's online. My computer. And they said that it was just a programming problem. Then after that, every night they were resetting the cameras because they had a programming problem. So, neither side, right? The other thing is that they said that they left an hour before, but in the statement that they provided to me in my email, they said they left at 9:30. So which is it? 9:30? 10:30? Cameras are off at 11:24. That's what I know.
Well, Bob Beatles has on his website, he has a video of the lights going off in the voting center. And they said it was a power outage. And if it was a power outage, all the lights would go off at one time, right?
That was
Well, they went off sequentially, like somebody was shutting off banks of switches. So what does that tell you? It tells me, number one, they are liars. This registrar of voters, Washoe County, is controlled by the Democrat Party from top to bottom. It's an unfair situation. We need the new registrar of voters to be a Republican. It's about time we get a Republican in there. Hasn't been one for I don't know how long. And I don't mean some squishy Republican. I mean a real Republican or a real conservative, really, you know. But you know, the local Republicans are conservatives. It's just the ones we send back to Washington, D.C. They get bought out by big pharma in the whole system out there. Those ones, that's why they go squishy. Plus they might take a trip to Epstein's Island or something. Who knows? But the thing is yeah, we need that, and I'm going to push for that too. I'm going to talk about that when we're there, you know, when we're in there today, you know, and so I'm going to do I'm going to this form on the top. I'm going to give them and enter it into the record, and that's what we saw in the observation. Let me grab it. Okay, we want the observers to be able to be walking around in the observation room. That's meaningful observation. We don't want them stuck in a corner behind a glass wall. Yeah, and as long as they, you know, are polite, they don't interfere with the process, that should be doable. Yeah, the media walked around, but we couldn't. We, the people, we are not any better than cockroaches. Oh, did I just call the media cockroaches? I think I did. Yeah, okay. And the other thing, there needs to be cameras placed above the desk of the signature verifiers. If the Washoe County afford cameras, right? And the people, it needs to be a live feed on it. So all the people in Washoe County can look at those signatures and see if the signature verifiers are doing their job right? The same thing with duplication and the same thing with adjudication. So, and that fishbowl thing, we want that dismantled and removed. You know, send the parts to Habitat for Humanity. They might be able to use the glass. But that is demeaning for the citizens of Washoe County to have to be stuck in that thing with a whole bunch of liberals from San Francisco. Because that's who was in there, you know. I don't think there is hardly any local Democrats. They have to ship them in from out of state and pay them $300 a day and pay for the room and board at some expensive hotel to get them to come here. And then another thing, the chain of custody did not occur when the blue bags were brought in on election night. We saw workers go out to the car, pick up the blue bag, and then walk in with the blue bag. You know what you're supposed to see? You're supposed to see the couriers walk in, count everything in there, make sure it's the same on the list that's in the bag that when they left, you know, they filled out a list of stuff that was going to be in there, how many ballots and whatever and everything. I'm not even sure what's all in there. But no, they didn't walk in. They didn't sign off. None of that happened. And then the other thing, when the cameras went out Thursday morning from midnight to 8 a.m., you know, they say they gave us the security camera footage. Well, who sat and watched that 8-hour video? Because they gave us some pictures of the empty hallways, but that's 1 second. Excuse me, where's the 8-hour video? Did we look at that? And then the other thing too, if the lights went off on the inside after everybody left, that means they left somebody behind, and who knows what they were doing. And so that means we cannot trust anything on the outcome of this election. Jim Marchant won. Adam Laxalt won, Seagull Shada won, Eddie Floyd won, and these people are thieves and liars. That's what they are. And I'm not putting up with this crap, and you know, I guess we have to submit. And we got to just bow down, kiss their feet. They make some law, you know. Okay, we got to follow their law. Well, I tell you know, it depends on the laws they make. There's some laws I probably won't follow. You know, I'm not sure which ones are right. But you know, that's how democracy works. The majority make the laws. Actually, we're a republic, and we vote in representatives to make our laws, and we all submit to the law. And if you don't do it that way, you're going to create a lawless society and chaos. That's what you're going to create. Because no one will have confidence that the majority were able to influence the passage of that law. And I can guarantee that the majority of people in this county do not support CRT in the schools. Do we want these racist, race baiters and racist people teaching all these other people of color to hate our children? Absolutely not. And the teachers are doing that. This is disgusting. And to let these sex perverts in and spread their legs in front of our children, you know, like they do, actually did that at Drag Queen Story Hour, one of these places. You know, we don't want our children taught that. You know, they had a big deal in Florida about this whole thing. You can't talk about sex to the young people from 1st to 3rd grade. And the liberals got all flipped out and upset about that. How about 1st to 12th grade? Yeah, I know they can get porno on their phones. We need to shut that crap down too. How can that happen? You know, Bill Clinton brought that all in. They revoked all the obscenity laws. They revoked the sodomy laws and all that, so these people have free reign. And they're after our children. And if we don't stand up and fight for our children, for our families, for our way of life, then they're going to just run all over us, you know. And I'll tell you one thing, they're doing a lot more than just the little stuff we see going on here. You know, some of you guys are new here, and my name's Nellis. I'm the former milkman. It's really important. we had Bruce Parks here, chairman of the Republican Party, for a little bit. So thank you. He gave us a little speech, so that was great. Great speech. Bruce is a great guy. We got a good chairman this time. But yeah, we need to get more people. We need to talk to our friends and neighbors and just about the issues and the things that we're upset about. But first, you know, we need to go in there now and sign up to speak, and then just tell them. Just tell me your opinion, whatever you want to say. But I recommend, and we object to your certification of this election. There's too much fraud going on here, and so I think they will have already certified it before we speak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You want to say anything?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is St Jon with the Washoe Patriots here. Very active. What I have in my hand here is a 30-page complaint document that we're going to be doing signing parties with notaries. And we're going to be getting that out. All the clubs and organizations will be getting the word out for that so we can get these things filed. As you said, they already have it made up in their mind. We've done this before with them. We go in and tell them, I'm going to recommend that when you go in, and if you sign up, you go in and sign a card, and probably, hopefully, item 3, that is, the canvassing is item 4, and then there's closing comments on 5, and so you can go in, you have 3 minutes. My recommendation is that you start with, I'm here to start and setting the record that you're not going to listen to us, and then they tell whatever it is that you object to about them certifying this election. Once it's certified, this thing kicks into effect because all of the things that they have done have been documented. Oscar and Stan and Dee and people down in Clark worked really hard on getting this document together. This thing was the main guy who put this together. And anyway, it has a lot of really great points. They're indisputable. They're going to argue that they aren't, but all the stuff he documented it very well. So we're going to have a time to do that. Oh, yeah, so question 3, right?
Well, I don't know if some of us
Yeah.
call all of them.
Yeah, so there is going to be a recall on questions 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, we're going to request a recount. On question 3, actually, we're working on a premise that it's actually 2 questions. You don't get to ask 2 questions. You get to ask 1 question. So we're going to ask the fact that they didn't set that up properly, and so we're going to have it basically trying to get it removed from the count and from the ballot. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, I'll have this here. You'll be able to look through it. But we look for any kind of communication for everybody to come to a signing party, and we'll get them notarized, and we'll deliver those to Hicks and all of the guys here, as well as the state AG. Oh, yeah. So I went down to, there was 3 of us that drove down from Reno, and we were at Nye County to do Haines County. And out of that, all total, in spite of everything they were trying to do to stop us, so the ACLU managed to get it stopped counting. They were counting in the 2-week period, which is allowed by law. The problem was they were counting it verbally, and there were people there taking notations on the counts. And so they were actually tallying votes. Tallying vote information is not allowed until after the polls close on election day. So they did get them stopped. What they should have given, and by the way, Mark Hump, who is the county clerk down there, this guy is phenomenal. And he got elected overwhelmingly in Nye County to continue down there. So he's doing a great job. What they did was they stopped the count and didn't let them start up until after the election. The Secretary of State, Reno, against us, who knows how corrupt, she did not allow them to start on Wednesday. So we had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, decreased group on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I was there for Wednesday and Thursday. By the time we got done, we had about 85% of the votes counted by hand. And the mechanism they do it is they have 3 people at the table. One person does all the tallying, and that goes to the next person. They do it. You get done, you count up all the votes, and you look to see who agrees. If there's a vote, if there's a race that they don't agree on, that person that was in error recounts just that race. And so it's very efficient. I did 151 on Wednesday, and that was as a newbie. And then the team I was with, we did 148, but we were the cleanup squad, so we ended up counting. We bring in a batch of 1, 2, 7, 8, 10. And it took a long time. The paperwork took us longer than to count the tally the votes. So anyway, even though we didn't get finished, it was a huge success. It showed a 0.11% error because they set these machines not in accordance with the law. That should have been at a 0 rate. They set it at a 5% threshold. So we found dots and marks in the oval that should have made that race what's called an overvote. It shouldn't have counted for anybody. And the machine counted them. We did not count them because we had human eyes and we saw that. And so it was a 0.11%. I haven't done the numbers yet, but it could turn into the hundreds and thousands of votes that counted that should not have been counted in this state. So anyway, it was the president, everyone's going to say, we failed because we didn't get 100%. This was a huge success down there. And it was all volunteers. No one got paid for any of this stuff. And we showed that you can count a lot of ballots in a short time when you get organized. And it was a huge learning curve. What's that? Yeah. 0.11% doesn't sound like much, but when you start putting it across all of the races, then it becomes hundreds and thousands of votes that shouldn't have been counted. So
you do a great job. Yeah, he's a public servant there. Okay, it's 15.
Oh, please.
That's what those people in there should be. They should be public servants. They're dictators. But it's 15 till. Let's go ahead and just go in there. And if you have a few minutes to sign in before 10 to speak. So go to the left, and there's a little table there, and you give them your name. And I'm going to give them this little document at the top to enter the public record. But no, don't take your signs in there. Now, if those are your signs, keep them. But if they're ones we had over here, you can drop back off. We'll store those for the Secretary of State. Because we're going to be down there in Carson City, and I hope you join us down there when the Secretary of State does his birthday. I'm not sure when that is. We'll find out. Okay, thank you very much, guys.